There's nothing quite like Derby Day to get the fans buzzing. It may have been an early Saturday morning kickoff, but the alarm clocks were all set, and Mansfield's travellers across the M1 were guaranteeing Chesterfield's biggest league gate of the season. For new manager Keith Curle, this was an especially poignant day. He may have played in a few derbies in his days at Bristol, Wolves and Sheffield United, but this was his first local locking of horns as the boss. It's the shortest journey of the season, but the most important of all for the fans. Saltergate is filling up nicely, so on with the show. So welcome to Saltergate for this big derby day, Chesterfield against Mansfield Town, and how good to see the local rivals from across the M1 coming face to face. Chesterfield with 14 clean sheets already this season, currently 9th in the table. Let's have a look at their side first. The goalkeeper Ben Williams, currently on loan from Manchester United. They will have centre-backs in Steve Blatherwick, Stuart Howson and Steve Payne. They'll look to Rob Edwards down the left and to their summer signing Chris Brandon for the sparkle through the centre. And up front, well, Glyn Hurst and David Reeves recently returned to the club from Oldham Athletic. As for the Mansfield Town lineup, looking to get over a poor run recently, no wins in the last 3 games, indeed no goals in the last 3 games. They have, as usual, Kevin Pilkington in goal, on loan defender Rhys Dace there from Manchester City, joined by Matthew Gadsby, the former Walsall player, and Ben Doan on loan from Sheffield United. Liam Lawrence and Wayne Corden will play down the flanks. There's no Isden Christie today due to suspension, but Andy White, hero recently at Barnsley, is in there, and Craig Didsley will be hoping to be on the mark as well. Referee is Andy Hall. Dave Rushbury, the former Sheffield Wednesday defender, is currently Chesterfield's manager. Mansfield will be all in yellow today. Chesterfield in the blue shirts and the white shorts. There's a crowd of over 7,000 here at Saltergate. The 11 o'clock kickoff has ensured that everybody's up bright and early today. But this is perhaps the match more than any other the players have been waiting for, the fans certainly have been waiting for. Disappointment for Mansfield that their top scorer Isden Christie is not out there today, but it's a chance for others to shine, and it is Mansfield who get the ball rolling and get the game underway. The movement down the left-hand side, attempting to involve Andy White. It's still what you might call a quaint ground in many ways, Saltergate. It's one of the few in the Football League that has barely changed over all the years. Ball up there to Martin Booty, forward from him. The gallop is on from centre forward Glyn Hurst. And the clearance from Kevin Pilkington. Mansfield with a chance to build down the left. That's what Chris Beardsley will attempt to do. Just blocked by Booty. And Wayne Corden will be the one taking the throw-in. Corden with 8 goals so far this season. And again, Wayne Corden, such a tricky player, and going on the outside of Booty, delivering the cross, and it was Blatherwick who met it. But a bright start from the Stags. They always talk about players not still being asleep and on the coach, especially for morning matches. But they're clearly up for this one. Chesterfield's throw-in, tussling for it there is David Reeves. Easy for Dave Rushbury to get a message across to Reeves, who'll be very much part of the coaching and the thinking process at this club now. In his second spell here. Ebden with a header forward, a chance for Hurst, edge of the Mansfield area. And the shot is barely one that trickles through to Pilkington. Glyn Hurst, who's had a strange career in some ways, comes from the Huddersfield area, played at Emley. Went up to Scotland and scored a lot of goals up there before returning to Stockport County. And to Chesterfield. Liam Lawrence couldn't quite win it. Jamie Clarke asking for the throw-in and getting it. Indeed, referee Hall says it's more than a throw-in, it's a free kick. So a chance for the bigger fellas like Rhys Day and Matthew Gadsby to go forward. Chesterfield better defensively than as an attacking side maybe, and that's proof of the pudding there. The header away by Blatherwick. Formerly of Nottingham Forest. And our low-angle camera here affords the opportunity of seeing the Liam Lawrence throw-in. Up into the Chesterfield area, it might drop here, but it's slashed across the face of goal by White and out of play before Wayne Cordon can retrieve the situation. There's young Chris Beardsley, so many changes in the side. Of course, John Gannon on the touchline. No sign there of Keith Curle for the moment, but John Gannon in charge of things, the former Sheffield United player. Not the best of clearances, certainly. And Pilkington will have a different proposition here, having to hack the ball away as Reeves bore in on goal. But it was his own poor clearance, really, that put his side under a bit of pressure there. This is Reeves turning and asking and winning the corner kick. Early pressure from Chesterfield. It's a new central defensive pairing here for Mansfield from the start of the season. Names Moore and Lever were in there. It's an Edwards in-swinger and it's drifted all the way through and out at the far post. Rob Edwards, very much a left-sided defender these days, though he does like to get forward. There was a season a few years ago when he was the top scorer for Crewe Alexandra, then moved on to Huddersfield. And, part of the furniture here at Saltergate. Chesterfield, of course, looking to repeat their 2-0 success at Field Mill back in August. Mansfield hoping to reverse that situation. And Beardsley stroking it forward. Little shove from Reeves. He's been around a while. And there's Shane Bradley, by the way, just behind Rushbury on the bench. Well known at Field Mill, a former Mansfield Town player, indeed one of the costliest signings when he came from Southampton. Released a short while ago, and now trying to find his fame and fortune with Chesterfield. His turn may come later. It's Chesterfield's free kick, and it's well angled across the field. There's a big shout for a handball here, and Rob Edwards is suggesting that that was inside the area that Jamie Clarke handled and that it should have been a penalty, but referee Hall adamant. Mansfield saying thank goodness that it was outside. Here's the ball in. Now where was Jamie Clarke? Breasted down, struck the arm. The referee decides free kick, and from Mansfield's point of view, fortunately, he also decides outside the area and not inside. Well, some might have given it the other way, but Mr. Hall said it's right on the line. Ebden and Edwards are here. Edwards is number 3, Ebden is number 10 for Chesterfield. And it looks like it will be Ebden. Comes off the end of the wall and safely out for a corner kick. Marcus Ebden, his season started well with a goal on the opening day. He's only got one more since then. It's a Rob Edwards corner for Chesterfield. Goes over the top of everybody. Liam Lawrence enthusiastically chases and does well. Nicks the ball inside the opponent, Chris Brandon. On he goes. And Brandon, energetic, gets back to win it. So there might be an offside flag here against David Reeves. And the Mansfield fans certainly making themselves heard. Easily Chesterfield's biggest gate for a league game this season. There's a run here for Hurst. And he's cut the ball back in there, comfortably cleared by Gadsby. Ebden. Driven cross field, but it's too far. Bob Edwards, not a greyhound exactly. Won't get to that one from Stephen Payne. A little bit hemmed in here, Mansfield, but they've got some respite with a free kick. It's been such a strange season for the Stags in so many ways. The secret of their success last season was continuity in so many areas. People like Les Robinson, of course, at the heart of defence for much of the time. Alan Tankard was a regular player, of course. Lee Williamson, Chris Greenacre. And deprived of the services of all those players just about this season. Apart from Williamson, it's been a difficult process. Popped forward by Lawrence. We might look for a return ball from White. Instead it will come back here for Jamie Clark. And charge down. And out for the goal kick. Leo Morrens, what a good season he's having, 7 goals. One of the heroes of their excellent win in the FA Cup against Team Bath, of course. One of the highlights of the season so far. And the televised encounter down there in the West Country. There's a header forward there by Hurst. There's another header from Reeves, but he can't corkscrew on the header really. And so Clark sweeps it forward. It's touched back to Lawrence. Instinctive ball forward from him. Chasing is Andy White, and he struggles and then brings Blatherwick down. Hello, Steve Blatherwick's just having the odd word here with Andy White, unnecessarily. He was attempting to win the ball fair and square. Blatherwick's still continuing his discourse. Rugged defender, Steve Blatherwick. Had his injury problems. A word from Mr. Hall for Andy White, but no more than that. Well, important tussles being won around halfway. Down goes Tom Curtis, and a little spat with Marcus Ebden. Tom Curtis actually started the season with Chesterfield. He played in a pre-season friendly match, a testimonial game for manager John Duncan and his assistant Kevin Randall against Manchester United. But they didn't seek to give him a new contract. And Tom Curtis, who has come back to this area from Portsmouth, is spoken to by referee Hall, as is Ebden. All sorted out, and the free kick Chesterfield's way. Little drop here for Brandon. He's having a good first season at the club, but Wayne Cordon intervenes, hits it down up to halfway. Andy White, his job is just to hold it up until support arrives, and he's got a free kick out of this. Well, it's what you'd expect in derby matches. Blatherwick there's just had a bit of a contretemps with Andy White, and now White has won another free kick. Hit long, and coming is Craig Disley. He doesn't win it, but there's a touchdown from Curtis to Lawrence. Then it's into the path of Clark. Able to get it over the top of the defender. Ebden knocks it back, and that could have been dangerous, and there was a collision of bodies there, but they're both picking themselves up as Chris Brandon advances. Former Bradford Park Avenue and Torquay United man Brandon, who's diminutive but very talented. And a back pass here that oh dearie me, that could have been a huge embarrassment, and might still be as well. Well, was Ben Williams casual or what there? Ball was knocked back by Stuart Howson, and for a moment it rolled beneath the Manchester United loanee's foot, and then he showed a nifty piece of footwork and timing to get it away as White lunged in. Didn't like the back pass, I fancy, from this man, Howson. Reeve. The layoff is from him. There'll be nobody chasing that. There is Shane Bradley. He has got a couple of goals since his move to Saltergate. He scored in the matches against Northampton Town and Cheltenham Town. Lawrence did well. Blatherwick probably going to put this out, but Lawrence hacks it forward again. Craig Disley, shoulder to shoulder. Two 50-50 challenges, and I think this might just be a booking for Tom Curtis. He and Ebden have had a little bit of a quarrel in the last few minutes, and Tom Curtis here will be spoken to by the referee. Now he will be summoned. And the former Chesterfield player gets the first booking of the day against his old mates. No real argument. Curtis and Ebden are going to come face to face quite a lot today. A yellow card to match the sheet. Still the two sides fighting for supremacy, as you would expect in the early minutes of any derby game. Chesterfield's strength this season has certainly been their defence. And they come into this particular game on the back of hammering at Swindon, a 3-0 loss there, after an impressive home win against Luton Town. So just one defeat in the last 4 matches for Chesterfield. So their last defeat here was at the hands of Oldham Athletic. As for Mansfield, of course, since Keith Curle took over from Stuart Watkiss, well, there's been a distinct improvement in results, starting with that victory over Blackpool, continued with a win at Barnsley, of course, then another success against Stockport. But the last 3 matches have resulted in goalless performances against Brentford and Crewe and Wickham, and they're having to defend here against Brandon. Booty's ball. Hurst with the take. Started the season playing up front alongside Jamie Burt. Glyn Hurst, he now has a new strike partner in David Reeves. Burt having moved north to Carlisle. Andy White, well, he struggled to control it, but that's partly because of the presence of the Chesterfield defender who was all over him, Alan O'Hare. Mansfield's free kick, right on the edge of the circle. And Curtis will leave it. Jamie Clark will take it. Several yellow shirts forward, as you can see, and that early breakthrough could be vital if Mansfield can secure it here. From Clark's free kick, lofted in, but Blatherwick had come and ready to met it well. Another chance for Clark. This time there's a bit more height on the ball, and he's found his man in there, but the header wide is from Chris Beardsley, yet to register a league goal. Didn't really look as though he was too positive about that header. No great conviction about it, which is why it went wide. Well, Mansfield have numbers up here, including White. Lawrence inside the first attempt of Edwards. And didn't get much purchase on the pass. That will be another free kick here Mansfield's way. Booty was really digging in there. Referee Hall says free kick. Mansfield getting plenty of those right now. Wayne Corden's come over here with the intention of taking this one. Could curl it, as you can see, he's 30 yards out. Williams is opting for his right-hand post at the moment. There's the signal from Wayne Corden. Oh, and it's a good one. It's Lawrence, and then he plays it across in here. There was danger. There is still danger. Hacked away. Corden will maybe pick it up again. In fact, allowing the ball to run out. But when he played Lawrence into space there, it did look dangerous to Chesterfield. And Blatherwick raised the boots, and the shot is high. Blatherwick almost made contact with his own man there. The final effort that came in was from Rhys Day. No doubt hoping to secure a permanent move from Manchester City to Mansfield. But not with that sort of a finish. His job largely is to stop goals going in, though, not scoring them. And here's the other man with Manchester connections. The goalkeeper Ben Williams, who's behind the likes of Fabian Barthez and Roy Carroll. And Ricardo, of course, the recent recruit from Valladolid in Spain at Old Trafford. So good experience for a youngster like Williams to be loaned out. There's the other goalkeeper, Pilkington. He also, of course, is a former Manchester United custodian, to use that old-fashioned phrase. Still Chesterfield 0, Mansfield 0, but here is Liam Lawrence, a real chance for Lawrence, hits it hard and low. Williams got the angle spot on. And no addition to his 7 goals yet this season for Liam Lawrence, but he was in great position here, taking it on, hitting it pretty hard, but too straight. Disley, backward header that only goes to a man in blue. And it's played forward by Payne. Referee Hall is just going over to the touchline to have a word, I think, with the 4th official here. He is. Now, the 4th official, Paul Robinson, is taking a card out now. He's making a note of something for Mr. Hall. Dave Rushbury's just inquiring what's going on. I must admit I'm slightly baffled and bemused by all of this. It could just be that the referee's got a problem himself. Well, the discussions continue. And indeed, that's what's happened. Referee Hall is withdrawing himself. I fancy he's got some sort of a hamstring problem. And so on with a big smile and a big grin, he becomes the star of the show all of a sudden, which he certainly didn't expect to be. Paul Robinson from Hull, and it's the end of Andy Hall's day. Always a disappointment for a referee, and he didn't look to be moving too badly. Well, a change in referee, it's not often you see that. So the 4th official, Paul Robinson, has taken over. We still have the same 2 assistant referees, Mr. Britton and Mr. Gould. Skirmish there, it might yet spin away to Hurst. Covering had to be done by Clark. So Paul Robinson in the limelight. And Edwards here for Chesterfield, into the area it goes, away by Clark. Now the goalkeeper really troubled as yet. Well held up by Reeves, who's been such a prolific player down the years. 158 league goals in his career, David Reeves, with the likes of Chesterfield and Preston, Carlisle, Oldham, Sheffield Wednesday originally, of course. Pilkington had to pick the ball out of his net so many times this season. It's a great relief to him that there appears to be a bit more stability in front at the moment. There's a possibility of a booking here. Gadsby was the offender. It's an interesting one, really, because the referee who's gone off will have marked Mr. Robinson's card. He'll obviously know that there has been the one booking in the game so far, that of Tom Curtis, but he might not necessarily have noted cautions or words in the ear for anybody else. Free kick Chesterfield, in high, well dealt with for the time being. Curtis on the chase with Ebden. They seem to be going everywhere together. And it's well cut back in there. Reeves was coming. Ford almost caught. Forward goes Payne here. Payne will hit this one. Oh, good effort. The best we've seen so far today from Steve Payne. Ironically, his only goal this season came at Field Mill in that 2-0 victory in August. Hits this well, and how much does it miss by? Not a great deal. Kevin Pilkington diving across there to cover. Payne, the Chesterfield captain. Forward here for Reeves to gallop onto it. Dyer across and covering. And a corner given, to the delight of the home fans and to the horror of the Mansfield supporters. Well, Davy Reeves is a big, bustling type of centre-forward. Can be lethal in the penalty area in the air. Edwards will be looking for the likes of him and maybe Blatherwick. It's a chance for Chesterfield, certainly. There is a header forward here. The goalkeeper, Pilkington, punches out under some stress. And Mr. Robinson has come to Mansfield's aid with a free kick. I think Pilkington may have been impeded. But midway through the first half at Saltergate, it remains Chesterfield 0, Mansfield 0. Disley. A lusty challenge from Blatherwick, but it's going to come back in his general direction again with White. Shadowed by O'Hare. Corner is given. And Andy White takes off his position. He'll go somewhere adjacent to the goal line here and be as close as possible to goalkeeper Williams, trying to unsettle him. Lawrence looking as though he wants it short, and then it's whipped across by Corden, straight up in the air. And then Brandon, with some glee, will dart forward here, away from trouble, and the chase is definitely on, but Chris Brandon looks like he's willing to take everybody on. Does need some support now. Well, he's done really well there, Brandon. Edwards not so well, really. A looping ball, which turns out to be a gift for Kevin Pilkington. But Chris Brandon there showed good tenacity, good control. Oh, there's a chance here. It's Hurst latching onto that ball as it went up into the air. It's Glyn Hurst for Chesterfield. Can they take the lead here? It's an opportunity for Edwards, and a terrific save as well. Pilkington tipping it over, and Edwards curses his luck and curses the dexterity of the goalkeeper. Laid on by Hurst. It had been a back header initially that set him up, and on his way, Edwards struck it venomously, tipped over by Pilkington. Pilkington will now find Reeves standing almost on his toe ends. It's away for Mansfield for the time being. Over to Brandon. Shot for handball. And well, there must have been a whistle because Chris Brandon heard it first. Well, the crowd in good voice, as you can hear. Nothing quite like a derby match to get the crowds going. Mansfield so keen to gain some revenge for that 2-0 defeat back in August. The referee's getting so excited he's dropping his whistle. Mansfield's free kick. Straightforward clearance. And there's nothing between these two sides. Certainly not as much as the league table would suggest. But Mansfield have